14 of the King of Football. I am the King of Football. I know all. I tell all. I'm always watching, and I'm always gambling on football. And each week I'm going to bring you 5 games that you absolutely have to bet on to increase your bankroll. So when you're in the club, you can flaunt and you can taunt with that paper in your pocket. Let's bring in my counterpart, Coach Harvey Ward Van Allen. Last week, the coach went 4-1. He hit his lead pipe lock of the week. His season record is 35-30. The King went 0-5. I was pathetic. My season record is 29-36. I'm 6 games down on the coach, and I got to make a serious comeback with only 4 weeks left in the NFL. Start off game 1, the Minnesota Vikings at the Carolina Panthers. Minnesota is really hot. They got one of the best defenses in the league right now. Carolina is playing a little better and a little better each week. I'm taking Cam Newton and that Luke Kuechly defense to finally shut down Case Keenum and Latavius Murray. Take Carolina to barely win this game. Take the Panthers plus 2.5 at home. Coach?
Put your money on the Vikings. Case Keenum is laser focused. I kept waiting for him to stumble as well, but he is not showing signs of it. The man is actually showing up to be a real NFL quarterback. I'm highly impressed. I feel like their defense is very strong. They're going to hold Cam Newton and crew to a low-scoring venture. Put your money on Minnesota and take your money home.
Coach has the Vikings on the road, -2 and a hook. The King has the Carolina Panthers at home, plus 2.5. Game 2, the New York Jets at the Denver Broncos. We all know the Jets have already exceeded expectations this year. Their coach is not going to get fired, and Denver is absolutely pathetic. It seems like that entire team, including the defense, has quit on them. However, I cannot take the Jets to go into Denver and win this game. I'm taking the Denver Broncos plus 1.5 at home. Coach?
Stretch! But I'm taking the Jets. They've been holding up for me all season. They have most definitely shown flashes of a contender. They are much better than anticipated, and Denver is much worse than anticipated. They fucking suck. Put your money on the Jets to go into Denver, sure them up, and take your money home.
Coach has the Jets minus 1.5 on the road. The King has the Denver Broncos, and yes, they really suck. Plus 1.5 at home. Game 3, the Philadelphia Eagles at the Los Angeles Rams. 2 really good defenses and 2 really good offenses. The Eagles had a stumble in Seattle last week, but that was Seattle. It's tough to ever win there anyway. However, I think they stumble again, and I'm taking the Rams with Jared Goff, Todd Gurley, and that unbelievable Wade Phillips-led Rams defense shuts down Carson Wentz. Take the Rams minus 1.5 in Los Angeles. Coach?
Put your money on the Eagles. They did stumble last week, but pretty much everyone that comes into Seattle stumbles. Carson Wentz had his bad game, throwaway game. It happens. Everyone has them, even the greats. Look for them to come back very strong, play the Rams hard. Carson Wentz is going to have a big day in LA. That home stadium is not anywhere close to established as Seattle is. Carson Wentz, Eagles, crew, win. Put your money on the Eagles.
Coach has the Eagles plus 1.5. The King has the LA Rams minus 1.5. Game 4, the Seattle Seahawks at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Seattle has no running game. 0 running game, with the exception of Russell Wilson. As a matter of fact, he is that entire team right now, and somehow it doesn't matter. He's still getting it done. They whipped Philly's ass last week in Seattle. They're going to go to Jacksonville, and the reason they're going to win this game is because of Blake Bortles. And I'm not sold on him at all. Take the Seattle Seahawks, go into Jacksonville, plus 2.5, and barely win this game right at the end because of Russell Wilson. Coach?
Put your money on the Jaguars. They do have a personality disorder, and you never know who's going to show up. And yes, Russell Wilson is probably the most underrated player in the league. Blake Bortles does pretty much suck. But look for Seattle to travel to Jacksonville. They don't travel east very well. Look for Jacksonville's defense to hold them tight. Seattle's defense has got tons of holes in it right now due to injuries. Put your money on the Jaguars to come back this week, fire it off, cover at home, and take your money home.
Coach has Jacksonville minus 2.5 at home. The King has the Seattle Seahawks plus 2.5 on the road. Game 5, the Washington Redskins at the Los Angeles Chargers. The Redskins got blown out in Dallas last week. Who was there? The King, loudest person in the stadium. LA Chargers did not cover against Cleveland and fucked me last week, so I'm going to bet against their ass this week. I'm also going to say that the Redskins go into LA and win this game outright. Their team is not that bad as they played in Dallas. They're going to shut down Phillip Rivers, and they're going to score a lot of points with Kirk Cousins, who's a pretty damn good quarterback. Take the Redskins +6 in LA. Coach?
Take those Chargers. They're going back home. And like last week when I said that Phillip Rivers is up and down, I took Cleveland. It was correct. I feel like this week he will come back. They're going to play a great game. Look for Phillip Rivers to have a big, big day. Put your money on the Chargers to kick Washington's ass and take your money home.
Coach has the Chargers -6 at home. The King has the Redskins on the road +6. And now it's time for the lead pipe lock of the week. The King has the over in the Oakland at Kansas City game. Starting quarterback Marcus Peters has been suspended by the team. Crabtree and Amari Cooper is back. I think the Raiders win this game, but I think it's a high-scoring game, 28-27, somewhere around there. Take the over 48 and the hook in Kansas City. Coach?
My lead pipe lock of the week is Houston -3 versus the god-awful San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco is going to roll into Houston, get their asses kicked. Houston's going to cover by more than 3. I think they're probably going to win by 7. Put your money on Houston. Take your money home.
Coach has Houston. It's actually -2.5, so he's getting a half a point there. And the King has the over in the 48 and the hook, Kansas City, Oakland Raiders game. That is another edition of the King of Football, Week 14. I'm the King of Football. I know all. I tell all. I'm always watching, and I'm always gambling on football. Coach, out!